when certain things are taken from you and you don't realize how simplistic they are because you just do it every day, your outlook on life becomes less about what you can have and what you need, which is your health. Your health is the most important because without that, nothing else matters. My name is Steven Falanca. My age is 55, and I am a music producer and cigar company owner. Guillain-Barré syndrome is an autoimmune disease that attacks the peripheral nervous system and shuts muscle groups down throughout your body. It's like 1 out of 100,000 people can get it, and it was treated initially through something called immunoglobulin, which I was on for 5 days, and that basically tells your body to stop attacking the nervous system. It started with just your run-of-the-mill stomach virus, had that for a week, started feeling better. There was a certain protein in the virus that I contracted that is the same protein that covers our peripheral nervous system. So my immune system thought I still had the virus even though it got rid of it and started attacking my own nervous system. So it started with a stomach virus and went into Guillain-Barré syndrome. Another thing that I was told was that it comes very slowly, and a lot of people might not even realize they have it. In my case, it actually came very quickly. After I was feeling better, I was doing some stuff around the house with my family, and I just woke up one day and my left hand was weak. It didn't feel numb or anything, it just felt weak, like I didn't have enough strength in it. So I initially thought maybe I just pinched a nerve or slept wrong, something like that. But then the second night, when I went to bed, I woke up the next day and it was in both hands. And it was actually so weak that I couldn't even squeeze the sheets and pull them off of me in bed. And that's when I knew something wasn't right. So I decided to go to the walk-in clinic. So yeah, I drove myself to the walk-in clinic. They did an initial assessment and decided that it would be better for me to go to the hospital. When we went to Westchester Medical. They admitted me and ran tests there saying, I needed to have a spinal tap and MRI, and they ruled out heart attack and stroke. With their assessment, decided it was Guillain-Barré syndrome. They started me overnight initially on the serum, and each day I was there at the hospital. It was a 5-day run. I got a bottle of the immunoglobulin. Initially when I got to the hospital, it was just weakness in my hands, and it actually got worse before it got better. It went from just being weak in my hands to all of a sudden losing strength in my legs and not being able to walk, not being able to stand, pretty much not being able to do anything that we do every day and take for granted. So hearing how severe it could be, total paralysis, it could attack your heart, it could attack your lungs. They kept monitoring my heart and making sure I could swallow. It was a little scary, finding out this is a pretty serious illness. Once I was done with the 5 days in the main hospital, I was told I'd have to go into in-house rehab, and I went from Westchester Medical Center Hospital to Westchester Medical Rehab, and I had to do regular rehab and occupational rehab twice a day, 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, and it was very tough. It was tough having to do both of those and pretty much learn how to function again. Oh, wow. I couldn't push myself up in bed. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't push buttons on a remote. Couldn't hold my cell phone up. Couldn't hold a little bottle of water. Couldn't get dressed. Couldn't brush my teeth. Couldn't walk. Couldn't shower. So in rehab, there were a lot of different things I had to relearn how to do. For instance, like opening bottles, medicine bottles, or regular bottles that are in your kitchen. I had to learn how to walk again. And it was very scary not being able to stand on your own, so they actually had to harness me from the ceiling in a vest and lift me in the air and help me slowly put weight back on my legs again to get them to realize the muscle groups and how to function. It was very scary. It was very scary. You know, the first thing that enters your mind is this the rest of my life? Am I going to be paralyzed? Am I ever going to be able to function and take care of my family and do what I need to do every day? Again, the simplest tasks in life we take for granted, and until you can't do them, you don't realize what's important in life. It's faith in believing in yourself, and I had people praying for me left and right, and people from our church and nuns and sending me statues that I kept on the side of my bed in the hospital, and I prayed to every night. To this day, it's still on my night table because I'm still dealing with it. So I prayed to God. I really did. I knew He would help me. My family, knowing that I had to be here for them, my wife and my kids, you know, it was a lot for them to see me go from fully functional to not functioning at all. I just needed to keep pushing and get better for them. I don't know if it's what they consider a cure. I mean, the immunoglobulin is what they gave me to stop it from attacking. And then what we were told is your body, each individual body can regain as much or as little as possible. There's really no, you know, 100% diagnosis on it. So the more you can push and do what you got to do, God willing, you get back, you know, as close to 100% of your mobility as possible. They told me, you know, there's a good possibility I wouldn't walk outside of a wheelchair for almost a year. I pushed myself, you know, after I got home. I did still come home after a month in rehab in a wheelchair. But I pushed from a wheelchair to a walker, still not being able to do steps, to then from the walker trying to do one step to a cane, and, you know, just kept pushing every day. As much as I have regained, and I'm probably 90% back to where I was, I still have issues with my legs. In the cold, they tend to not want to work as well. I still have some nerve damage, muscle aches, and nerve pain. So I have to just take it easy. Another part of the disease is fatigue, constant fatigue. So I have to really just take it easy, you know. I can push through and do things, but then I get tired. So it's just a lot of rest. When you have something like this, you're afraid of what could happen and can I get it again. Every little thing, if food was left in the fridge too long, I didn't want to eat it because I didn't want to get a stomach virus that might bring on Guillain-Barré again. You know, it's almost like a post-traumatic stress. Anything and everything that you think might possibly give you this disease again, you're just in fear of. Your lifestyle changes. You want to be healthy constantly now and strong, and you take for granted being able to do certain things. So having had this and not even being able to stand up on your own 2 feet, now I just want to strengthen every muscle as much as possible. So it is something that if you get any of these symptoms, you want to get checked right away and not assume it's something else, because the longer it's in your system, the harder it is to get better from it. One of my questions to the neurologists and doctors was, is this ever going to come back? You know, is this something that is a one-off? And they said that there is a very, very slim chance that you can get it again. But for the most part, once you've had it and you've gotten rid of it, you're pretty good, you know. As much as you rehab, that's where you'll be. And, you know, they've told me stories of people that were completely paralyzed. And then, you know, after a year and a half, they were back to normal. So it's a slow process, and, you know, God willing, you don't get it again.